fitting for whatever reason. Hey guys, NXT just went off the air 10 minutes ago, or maybe a little less than that. It is Tuesday night on, well, no, not on Unpopular Review. It's Unpopular Review Tuesday night. That means it's an NXT review show. We're going to give our thoughts about this past episode right after the intro. So let's play that intro. Hi, folks. Like I said in the intro, Unpopular Reviews, the NXT edition. I'm one of your hosts, the great Grand Slam Pooba, before I will be called the Badguy Jack, and I'm joined with the Wrestling Dog. But you have a brand new name, Madam Sabrina Estella. Sabrina Estella!
Yes, sir.
How are you?
I am doing fine, thanks. NXT was pretty good tonight. We got some stuff to talk about and such, so I can't wait to do that. And
Yeah.
Lemonade.
And what will you be drinking, madam?
Lemonade.
You cannot go wrong with lemonade. I have a bottle of empty water, so that is not a good start to the show. But yes, guys, you're watching Unpopular Review. I feel like it's important that we start off the show by sitting there saying, hey, if you're liking what you're seeing, and I know it's only been 2 minutes of it, but if you're liking what you're seeing, if you've been here, if you're a regular, you already know what you have to do. You got to hit that like button. You have to hit that subscribe button. You got to hit that notification button. When you hit those things, that's when you know that we're going on live. And we do it right after the weekly shows, Monday Night Raw, NXT, as you can tell, AEW Dynamite, sometime Collision, and SmackDown, although SmackDown is on a Saturday. But please hit that. That helps us out. It helps you out. So let's talk about NXT. But before we get into a little bit of NXT, I want to get into the chat because you guys, y'all make the show, as you guys can tell. So it always opens up with this gent right here, George Lewis. No one can beat George. George is undefeated and being number one. I think he's lost maybe once or twice, but even then, I don't count those. He says, what's up, everyone? He said NXT was pretty solid tonight. He also mentions Roxanne got what she wanted, but there's other women on
NXT that should be in the mix.
There we go. Thank you for clearing that up. And there are a lot of women that could be in the mix, but right now it's Roxanne.
People to say in the comments.
Oh, yeah, that would be interesting to hear what you guys think. We got Alpha Academy on NXT. I wonder why. Well, they're not doing anything at Mania, so why not put them and do something with NXT? I think NXT has become kind of like a safe haven for a lot of individuals who maybe they don't have anything going for themselves. Like, look at Baron Corbin. He wasn't doing anything for a period, and now he's doing some really great stuff with Braun Breaker. Same thing you can say with, I'm blanking on this thing. Yes. Absolutely. Because right now they're getting more screen. A lot of time I remember them and they were on the main roster. I remember AJ slapped one of them and they didn't do anything. So I just think it's a good time for them to go to NXT. Alpha Academy, same here. They had a match on Monday and they lost. So yeah, why not? It don't bother me. Warman's here. What's going on, Walter? We got Walter. We got JL. You know JL, the biggest Braun Breaker fan we know. He says hello. He also says, no hate, but Thea reverting back to a crazy cat to feel like we went backwards. Zero progress. It's cringe. She isn't getting better doing this. It's just my two. He meant to say sense, but his sense. Because he has, that's like his spider sense. I don't mind Thea going back to what she's doing. That's what brought her to the dance, to the table. And the story that they were telling was that she was losing herself by, it pains me to say this, but listening to JC Jane. So she lost herself. Now she's herself again. But I'm going to have a lot to say when it comes to that segment because you cannot revert me and turn it against one JC Jane, because that will never happen. We got George in the chat. He said Thea versus Jasmine next week, and don't be surprised if JC gets involved, because JC's about her friends. That's why. We got Jeffrey in the chat. What's going on, Jeffrey? We usually catch you a little later in the night, but hey, glad to see that you are here. One Jeffrey Reimer. We got I Can See Michin on NXT. And would that even hurt? I think that would be great for her.
There.
Yeah, I think it would be great for her.
Roster got let go, then went back to the main roster. So why not?
I would honestly be down for her to go back to NXT. I mean, right now on the main roster, and I don't think it's. So one of the things I've always tried to put in mind is like, well, at least it being on TV. I feel like she was on this past week. I forget, because I know she had a match, but she lost. I just don't remember exactly who she went against. We got JL says Michin and NXT. Why not?
He says Munchkin.
Yeah, I wasn't going to give him the satisfactory. When Roxanne Perez wins the NXT Championship at Stand and Deliver, she will be the third person to win the NXT Championship twice, joining Shayna Baszler and Charlotte Flair. I don't see her winning. Don't try. That's very rude, George. I went to the chat for this. That's very rude. Chris Lecture. I don't know. I can see Tatum costing Roxanne. We should talk. We should open with that. I love here, Roxanne. Best got business. Okay, there we go. I hope I read that totally correct. So while we open up with the show, it was Roxanne against Tatum Paxley. Tatum Paxley, as she's making her way to the ring, Roxanne immediately attacked her. So if you had no idea,
bring it on. She was coming out like, bring it on. She didn't want to wait either.
She didn't want to wait. She wanted to take this girl out. She said, "Oh, you're best friends with the champ. I'm going to take you out." I thought this was some really good stuff. Tatum got some offense in there, but eventually the experience of Roxanne was overwhelming for Tatum. Roxanne kept working on her arm to the point where I was sitting there saying, I don't know what that arm owes you, but I hope it pays you back, because this girl was stomping on that arm. She was doing everything on that arm. I was just waiting for her to put the arm between her legs and start doing this. She was beating the hell out of that arm. That arm owed money. Roxanne, she gets the win. She wins. She hits the pop rocks and then goes and hits a crossface, to which Tatum had no choice but to tap out. She taps out. Roxanne then grabs the mic and says, calling out.
I'm not waiting anymore. Where's my stand and deliver match with Lyra Ava? I want it now, so make it official now. And who do we get? Lyra in a sling, mind you. In a sling, coming out to come defend her friend and Tatum Paxley. But gets being put into a submission hold as well. Which I think maybe they should have a name for it, like Pop Off or something. Since they call it.
I think someone in the chat one time, and it might have been Jeffrey. I'll give him the credit here for it. But I think he called it like the Rocks Lock or something like that. I thought that was some kind of, because the play on that. Mm-hmm.
Choices are endless.
It is, and it's good to have another move in your arsenal, because she had the pop rocks, but I always thought it was really cool. Matter of fact, WWE 2K24, if I could just talk about it a little bit, I play that game a lot. I spend a lot of time on there, but now you can have 5 finishers. I think that's ridiculous. My point in saying all this is good to have an auto, because Walter don't really have a finisher. He just beats you. Like that's the Walter way. He gets in the ring and he stomps you out, and he stands on top of you. We got George and oh god, this chat moved up a little too quickly for me. I need everyone to slow down for me. Everyone's moving a little too fast for me. Roxanne suck. She is a crybaby. Crybaby Roxanne, crybaby. Is that your way of trying to join in with the Cody Crybabies?
Well, basically now she's got the Roman Reigns thing, where even if she's still a heel, there are people still rooting for her, even though a bunch of people were saying Roxanne sucks as well. Everyone says, Roxy sucks. Let's go, Roxy sucks.
We got Good Chris in the chat. He says Tatum Paxley will cost Lyra Valkyria the NXT Women's Championship at Stand Level. I don't see that. I don't have in my head that Roxanne is walking out with this championship. I see her losing. Matter of fact, to me, now I don't have no scoops or nothing like that. I have no sauces in the back. I just look at this as this is Roxanne's not final stand, but like this is it. Like she's getting ready to go up to the main roster. Like I don't think she needs to be on NXT much longer. It's nice if they do. I'm pretty sure they'll find something. Look, they found something for Braun Breaker to do, and I feel like he was been ready to be on the main roster. But for me, I just don't see her walking out as champ. Talking about Roxanne. Did you want to have any thoughts as I click on some of these chats? Ada and Roxanne.
Nope.
Don't have it. And I don't think Ava is going to be wrestling anytime soon. I just don't think so.
I think she does better at. I think she enjoys being like a manager type character, GM now even more so.
Right, and I think she's
a better talker than she is a wrestler. She might be training still, but I think right now it's just best for her to focus on being the youngest GM in history and work with the people to then eventually build up to maybe wrestling again and pull a Shawn Michaels.
You said poor Shawn Michaels? How dare you?
Well, I mean, before he became the head in NXT, he stopped wrestling, but then he got brought back to wrestling at WrestleMania at one point, too. Or something along those lines. I'm trying to remember. Or someone else.
You talk about Shawn Michaels, his amazing run as GM.
Well, I'm not going to call it amazing. I'll just say it's been a decent run.
Shawn Michaels has kind of raised my blood pressure, but I'll give the man some credit for doing a fantastic job. I mean, reviewing this show has been great, and he's one of the reasons. I don't need anyone to ever clip this and send it to me. This is the only time you'll get a compliment about me and Shawn Michaels. Because I didn't forget about 2K23. He fired me. That was very rude. I agree with Badguy Jack. That's the first. Yes, she does. Roxanne is ready for the main roster. I agree. We got Good Chris. Who's he saying this to? This is not Good Chris saying you're wrong. That's not.
I don't know who he's saying it to because he didn't say who he would say it to. Maybe to George. I don't know.
You don't say that, Good Chris. Good Chris, watch your mouth. Braun is ready for the. I'm sorry.
Please don't finish that one. Please don't finish that one.
Okay, can I let me just read it.
Listen, Jay, I'm gonna say this.
I'm not reading at all. Yeah, I just saw the words.
Because the way you said it was very disrespectful. Anyway,
yeah. No, I was laughing because
we know how much you love Braun Breaker. However, Braun Breaker ain't gonna be the one to take the belt off Roman Reigns.
No, it's not.
As well as Roman Reigns, number one. And number two, the one who's going to take the belt off that man is going to be Cody Rhodes. He's going to finish that damn story at WrestleMania. And I don't care when nobody in this chat and in the Unpopular Review group says if they say that he will lose to Roman again. And if he loses to Roman again, World War Z, the movie, is going to get a sequel.
I'm just scared if it happens. I don't see Roxanne winning. Charmaine says Lash is quite the legend. I totally agree. She is quite the legend. Why did he fire you? I knocked him off the apron and he got mad and fired me, and I had to go back to the Indies. It's a whole thing. JL says he was joking. I was laughing only because when he said something, I immediately said when I saw Braun Breaker should be the champion, I immediately laughed. I said, this has to be JL because I'm not looking at the names. I'm just reading the comments here. And when I saw that, I immediately said, that's JL. When Roxanne Perez wins the NXT Women's Championship at Stand and Deliver, you will say I was right. Okay, good, Chris. Do you want to bet tacos on that? I like shrimp tacos. I like fish tacos. Hold the tacos with anchovies because boy, will I kick someone in the dick if I get
tacos with anchovies.
There's some sick-headed individual who has made that and said I cooked. No, you didn't. You just made a grease fire, you jackass. I'm sorry, if I curse, would I bother people if I use foul language? Because I feel it today. That guy's feeling a little spicy today. Or tonight.
We can have our moments where we don't keep PG. I swear every once in a while, and people love it.
We got Hold the Beef Tacos. There we go. We got to have a taco-themed day. Yeah, Russell Dawes on that like, oh no. Braun hasn't been fan.
Because of the comment, I was like, Hold the Beef Tacos.
Let's get to the next segment here. We have Josh Briggs. He's talking. He wants to. This is interesting to me, right, Wrestling Doll? Well, I'm sorry, Sabrina Estella. There we go. Got to put some emphasis on that bad boy. Josh Briggs, he wanted to separate from Jensen. They made this pact like, all right, everyone for themselves. Henley is this way. She's sitting there trying to create her own super friends group or whatnot. And then you have Josh Briggs, who's, I'm big, so I do big guy things. I can reach the top. of the counter and the store because he's so freaking big. And then you have Jensen. Jensen with his really well-groomed mustache. But yet last week he didn't look well-groomed. He looked kind of dead, actually, because he looked like he got his ass kicked. And the reason he looked that way, because he did get his ass kicked. And he got his ass kicked by the strongest black man I've ever seen in my life, Obafemi. And yes, I believe that he gets stronger every day. Josh Briggs come out and he says, like, he calls out Oba. He says, like, hey, you talk about wanting to hunt the hunted and all that stuff, but all I saw was you just beat down on this man. I saw the bloodthirst in your eyes. So what? So what? He warned the kiddo. He said, kiddo, don't get in the ring with me. He gave him fair warning, like, I'm not nothing to play with. I'm not a slide. I'm not a seesaw. I'm not whatever those things are in the park, because I haven't been in the park in a long time. I'm not a slide. That's what it is, because I'm not going to let that shit slide. And I'm very proud of that. George, 10 points for that one. Thank you. Josh is trying to, he wants to defend his friend. Ober, he has no remorse. He's like, beat your ass too. What? What do you want? What do you want? You want a shot at this? Let's go. Dijak comes out, and when Dijak comes out, he says, hey, whoa. I don't know what this is all about. But remember, we had a deal. I said, I'm coming from that North American Championship. And then Josh Briggs thought he was so clever. Thank you, Jeffrey, for putting it in the chat. He thought he one-upped Dijak. He said, get out of here with your shaft. You want to be shaft. To which Dijak said, wait a minute. Whoa. Did you just call me shaft? Like Samuel Jackson? And his Josh Briggs, yeah. Yeah. To which Dijak did, and this was great. Dijak just looked at his skin and he said, I don't know if you noticed, but I'm white. And then Josh Briggs laughed because he realized he looked like, he looked kind of like a fool. Because, like, he really thought he said something fantastic. He didn't. Oba just is over this whole shenanigans, this segment. And he's just pretty much, he'll defend his championship against anyone. He gave a warning to Josh Briggs. He said, no, sir, I didn't warn you. So I do like this. I like that there's a lot of contenders going for this championship. You have Josh Briggs. I thought they were going to go this route of Josh Briggs, Dijak, and Obafemi. Now, I know how this is going to sound, but I'm pretty sure you guys have heard this enough because you watch wrestling. I thought they were going to do a match with big, meaty men. That's what I thought they were going to go. And it looked like they're not going to go that way, or at least not have all that meat in the ring. There's going to be a certain amount of meat in the ring. And I know how this keeps coming out of my mouth, but I would like to believe that people in the chat are mature to realize what I'm saying when I talk about meat and how maybe too much meat in this match might be a lot of meat. Too much meat for some people. Wrestling Doll, what did you think about this segment? Because I am drowning here.
That I thought it was funny that Josh Briggs tried to call Dijak somebody from Shaft from Samuel Jackson was out. I was like, well, you know how stupid you sound right now? You might as well just call him Casper the overly buff 6 foot the ghost. I did a face palm. I think I face palmed even more when Dijak didn't give him any satisfactory about it. Because a lot of times in wrestling, they'll say something and they just kind of like, oh, ha ha, and whatever. But Dijak really was like, I've been listening to some of his stuff. Or, I mean, not listening, because I don't mind listening to stuff on Twitter. But I'll watch the stuff that he be writing, and I'll be cracking up. He be laughing at me. I think there's supposed to be, like, some kind of fine for cursing. He was like, oh, shit, I didn't get that. And I said, I love this guy. This guy's fantastic. We got in the chat going on. Let's get into some of these chat. I agree with you, Jeffrey. He said when Josh Briggs called Dijak Shaft was hilarious. Yeah, and he really thought he cooked. Bad guy Jack, that has a lot of points. There's so many zeros, so it's hard for me. Thank you. See, George is just generous. All right. Briggs calling Dijak and want to be Shaft. That was okay. See, even George didn't find this really good. George is not really a critic, but he heard this and said you could have done better. Josh Briggs to Dijak. Hey, you want to be Shaft? Hey, you want to be Shaft? You just called me want to be Shaft? Like Samuel Jackson Shaft? I don't know if you noticed or not, but I'm white. It was great. It was honestly a great segment. Dijak has just really been killing it. Jeffrey said, I'm sorry, there's so many G's here, but Jeffrey says he loved the segment.
I can see Wesley returning, but maybe it's just me. I don't see him coming back right away. I know that he put some video out. At least I saw on Instagram. I didn't watch it fully, but it looked like he's
on Twitter. He put up a video of him getting back into training. Yes, he had that back surgery a while back. I was there when he announced that he had to have that done, which broke my heart. But he got to take his time. So I don't think now, but maybe in the next pay-per-view or two that he might come back around that time frame. But we ain't getting it right
now. We got George. He says, Chris, no, she doesn't. Her time in NXT should be over at Stand and Deliver, and it's time for her to go to the main roster. I agree. I agree to an extent because as much as I would like for her to be on the main roster, I wanted to go to the main roster if there's something for her. So I'm for it, and then I had to think about. I just had to remind myself. Didn't they just call Tiffany up maybe last month? So I don't know if right now is the time.
It's been like maybe a couple months since they called her.
Okay.
Because it was before Elimination Chamber that she got called up.
There we go. I'm not too sure who this individual is, so I'm assuming this was Shaft because I don't know. Dijak be rotating, ratioing people online. Yeah, I've been seeing that. He's been ratioing. Chris, I can see Blair Davenport take the title off. I could see that too, actually. I could see that. If they would have to run that back because they did have that match early in the year, but I could see Blair being a great heel champion, honestly. Roxanne Perez is not ready for the main roster. I think she's ready. It's just having a spot for her, but I think she's more than ready. Chris, yes, she's ready for the main roster. Nice. Oh, we got good new age man. He says, nice hair, Russell Lindahl. He's very complimentary of your hair. I am slowly starting to like this hair, Roxanne. She grows on you, doesn't she?
Let's get wanted it, and then they started booing. It's like, y'all are fickle.
Brian Danielson called it best. Let's get into this segment, or this match. I'm sorry, this is not a match. Let's get into these two matches and then do a quick commercial. We're at the No Quarter Catch Crew. I had to make sure I wrote this name because
still the stupidest name ever.
Wow. We had
the stupidest names for a faction I've ever heard in a hot minute.
Huh? Say that one more time, Dom.
It's one of the stupidest faction names I've heard in a hot minute.
It is a long name for no reason. Like, I made sure to write this name because for the longest time I was like the quarter and there's a nickel in there. Yes, the No Quarter Catch Crew. So they don't have quarters is what I get out of it. So I wouldn't be allowed because I like to have quarters because when I do laundry, you got to have quarters. So we have representing this crew is Charlie Dempsey and Miles Bourne. I'm hoping I got the name right because I felt like it is Bourne, right? Because when I put Rowley Bourne later in the night, I was like, wait a minute. I really thought I messed up. They went against the team of Axiom and Nathan Fraser. The winning team will be included in this triple threat that's going to happen next week that already has the LWO in it. And you can add Axiom and Nathan Fraser. Pretty solid match. I thought the match was pretty good. It picked up towards the middle for me because it kind of started off a little slow for me. So I was like, all right. But it really started cooking a little bit towards that middle spot. And, I mean, I didn't write down these moves that happened because we have a match that have Axiom and Nathan Fraser. I am not keeping up with that kind of speed. Yep. So all I can tell you is
hell can she can keep up with Nathan Fraser now that she's going back to her running around like a crazy maniac.
Right now she can keep up with Nathan Fraser. I think she can outrun Nathan Fraser, to be quite frank, because the way she has energy for days. I mean, like, if I needed something to, like, the house went down and, oh, man, I need all this power, where would it generate from? Via hell, that's who. But this was good stuff. The right team won. Axiom and Nathan Fraser winning. I did like the ending, though. Axiom hit a Spanish fly on Miles, and then Nathan did a Phoenix Splash. But as Nathan is pinning Miles, Charles tried to come in and break it up, but Axiom hits the sweet-ass kick out of nowhere. The kick didn't make that sound. I make it sound like something out of the X-Men. I do apologize. That's the New York in me kicking out. But he kicked the hell out of this guy. Axiom and Nathan Fraser get the dub. Good stuff here. And then we had a women's match. I'm going to get into the chat in a little bit because we got Z the Silence. He's not here all the time in the house of the NXT. So we say salute to Z the Silent. Thank you for stopping by, my friend.
Our NXT Tuesday.
The NXT Tuesday. I mean, we're the best duel. Are you kidding? Like, No, I'm not kidding. You know why? Because I didn't freaking laugh. I laugh at all my jokes. Yes, I do. Wrestling Doll, what did you think about this segment? She laughed at my jokes too, by the way. Oh, wrong way. She laughed at my jokes too, so it's not just me laughing. But carry on. What did you think about this segment, Wrestling Doll?
Well, I agree. The match did start a little bit slow to my liking, but it definitely did pick up in the middle. Nathan Frazier, if they were to do a commercial for the battery that has the bunny that goes fast, like the mascot, if they were to do two, like a male and a female mascot, Nathan Frazier would literally be the male mascot of that bunny.
And Thea would be the female. No, that makes all the sense in the world because Nathan, you know what's funny is I'm watching Nathan Frazier. I feel like I say this every time I watch his match. I say, is Homeboy getting faster every time I see him? It looked like he's ready to break this time continuity or whatever that movie, The Flash, because they went back in time. It was a time travel.
I was thinking more like those pinball machines in the mall that when you hit them over and over again, like it starts going really, really, really fast after a while. That's what you remind me of too. Or the one that you play on your computer, the game version. I'm calling all this.
Oh, that one is so. The one on the computer is so slow. Like it's almost annoying slow because they'll do boop.
Yeah, but it feels faster when it moves as when you're a kid.
I always kept up with it because no, I'm lying. I have no follow-up live for that. We got Z in the house. He says every week.
Well, we don't really see you in the chat every week, so we don't know.
Yeah, I had no idea, but I'm glad that you are here, Z the Silent. But let me put a magnifying glass on one Z the Silent. First off, you can catch this lovely gent on SmackDown. He does a fantastic job with Vic. He's tremendous on what he does. He's professional at what he does. But you don't know the headache I have to deal with in the chat when he tries to disrespect Bret Hart and Sonic the Hedgehog. So Z, George, you know what makes me feel good? And I didn't even like how that came out. George, at least take away negative 20 points from Z because he talked about Sonic the Hedgehog, and we don't allow that in the House of Jack.
Where did he talk about Sonic the Hedgehog?
So we were in the chat, right? And he mentioned something about Mario beating Sonic. Are you kidding me? This could never happen. Sonic is too
Sonic goes a million times faster.
Sonic is too quick, too nimble. Mario, all he does is eat spaghetti and just fall on the ground.
Here's the point.
Yes, no, I refuse.
It's not because of that. It's something else.
I'm about to fucking yell right about now. I am heated right about now. I can't even express the anger that I have right now. Look at this guy. Oh, we have a comedian in the house. Everyone, let's stand up for the opening act for Kevin Hart because this guy think he's funny. You're not funny, Z the Silent. How dare you sit here and say that? Shout out to Bill Goldberg. No one says that. Not even like Bill Goldberg's family. They don't say that out loud. And I can see him laughing right now. He's probably just chuckling very loud. I hope that you demolish Mike in some 2K24. That will make me happy. We got George. He says, "See, I'm sorry. You're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm giving you a negative 75,000. Fantastic. Good job, George. This is why George is and he's gonna. Well, you can't be the mayor of the Jackpack community because I gave that job, but you could be this. You could do the guy who does the paperwork because I don't have time for that. We got also Speedy Gonzalez is fast, but he's not fast in Sonic the Hedgehog. Let's not do that. I am laughing so hard. I believe you. I so 100% believe you, sir. Laughter. Yes, Oberg. Why don't we play a commercial and get back because however, hold on. Let me read this real quick. However, I will say Sonic Colors is amazing. I never get tired of playing. Sonic Colors is so beautiful. Dude, you got to play. What's this game called? Frontiers. It'll change your mind about everything with Sonic. Like that game is so beautiful. Matter of fact, I miss playing it for the first time. It's a beautiful game. You should play that. But Sonic Colors is a great game. We're gonna play a quick commercial. We're gonna come back and talk more NXT and maybe some other random stuff. You're watching Unpopular Review. This is the NXT review show for the NXT. What do we call it? The Tuesday. What was it? What we call it?
The NXT Tuesday crew.
Fantastic commercial.
The rated Beyond Our superstar Danny Garcia versus the formerly rated our superstar, the AARP rated superstar Adam Copeland.
So tell us about it then.
Boring as shit. Edge was supposed to win, but the bad guys of also Nick Wayne and Mrs. Shayna Wayne came in with Luchasaurus and beat up Edge. They beat up Danny Garcia, so he couldn't help Edge. I thought this match was rather meaningless, and I'm not really understanding why they're putting Daniel Garcia into the TNT title when all anybody wants to see is Christian versus Edge. And Daniel Garcia, they force him down ropes more than anyone that's not named Orange Cassidy.
Well, let me back up here, and you don't understand why they put Daniel Garcia in the picture, because it's the Copeland Cup. Copeland is trying to prove himself again, so the show that he's a number one contendership for the TNT title. So that's why Daniel Garcia is with him. And I don't understand when you say boring. Like, you got a guy that's in his 50s, okay? He's taking, just like Singh, he's in his 60s. They're both taking top rope bumps onto the mat. They're diving off out of the ring like they're 20 years old. I mean, Daniel Garcia is so underrated. I mean, I can't name a shitty Daniel Garcia match, because I feel like every time he goes in there, he puts on 110% in there, and he's so underrated. I mean, the guy, he should be a TNT champion. I mean, if you don't think Daniel Garcia's, I mean, let's put it this way: how many times have you seen Jeff Hardy or Matt Hardy matches, and they're completely shit? This is nowhere near that.
Sting versus Jeff Hardy.
No, I mean, I'm not going to. What do you mean?
He was drunk.
Oh,
Jeff Hardy was drunk trying to defend the title.
He's always drunk, but what I'm trying to tell you is that this match is not that bad.
Ouch.
Oh my Lord. You know, I gotta say, they really treat us like crap, because these are such outdated commercials and no one switches what we have there. But that's all right. That's what we come in and provide the entertainment. As you guys can see, that was the AEW review show. And I'm not repeating what was said, but wow. I mean, we see what one Vinny thinks of Jeff Hardy. He's always you always have the bottom. We got
show during their feud.
You know, they had real quick, I'm gonna read this. Stacks is a fraud wearing Louis Vuitton.
Okay, listen, Jeff, if you're going to talk shit about Stack, at least spell the name of the brand right. It's Louis Vuitton with a U, not an I, number one. And number two, not every mafioso needs to wear Italian anything. You can wear French, you can wear Spanish, you can wear Asian. You can wear any type of brand from other places. It doesn't have to be just Italian. Yes, they're acting as stereotypical Italian mafia people.
I'm sorry,
every mafia person out there in the world only wears Italian name brand designers. No, they wear other stuff too.
I'm sorry, I'm trying not to laugh so hard, but this was great. Like, I like how, like, you saw this comment and you immediately was like, look, okay, all right.
If you're gonna insult somebody with something, at least spell it right. And that is not how you spell Louis Vuitton, because Louis Vuitton is with a U, not an I.
I'm glad that you see. I would have never saw the difference here. And here it was, you immediately said, no, get that out of here, because that's wrong.
Loving fashion, I know a thing or two.
Man, I always said I would be awful for this.
Miami, so I'm used to seeing at the mall the kiosks with the Louis Vuitton bags for like $20, which are not real for the slightest. But everyone was feeling like it was, because some of them knew it wasn't real, but pretended that it was anyways. And some people actually thought it was real.
I was going to just ask, because you just said $20, correct?
Yes, back in the early 2000s.
Oh, because I was going to say, that sounds immediately fake. I mean, I know none of this stuff to begin with. I mean, if I was on the red carpet and they said, hey, what are you wearing? Something I just picked up off the floor. And I thank God it's clean, because I wouldn't walk out like that. That sounds bad.
Others don't ask that too much anymore. But
that's not a thing anymore.
Not for the most part, because they don't want people to get offended anymore. Everything is offensive, apparently. Everything gets canceled.
We got George. He mentions Adriana Rizzo looked good. She did look good tonight. Yeah, Jeff Russell will come for your spelling. Trust me, I know. Did you do that to this man right here? Because Jeffrey's like...
Yeah, I did. I don't remember.
Jeffrey, I feel like there's a story. Please let us know. Yeah, Stash versus Dragunov, and Tony's going to get involved and help his boy. He's going to try to get involved, but like I don't see in no universe Stacks
It might not be Tony D that gets involved. It could be Luca to solidify his position in
right.
the family.
I didn't even think that piece right there, but yes, I'm glad that you said that because I didn't even think that. I was just thinking, well, Dragunov is beating this young man. He's beating his ass next week. But right, I could see him because when they did have to talk, Crucifiniani, right? I'm hoping I said it. Crucifini.
Crucifino.
I knew it. I should just put an O there. There we go. I put an O there. I'm very proud of myself. But Crucifino, he's highlighted. Tony mentions how he's a part of the family and with his brains and his muscles that they're going to go to the next level. He also mentioned that he has a law degree. So, yes.
Law degree, sociology degree, so his brains will help balance out the muscles in the family.
Yep. And he mentioned with him being paired with Stacks and Rizzo, the family is stronger than ever. And then he mentions Dragunov. And I thought this was actually pretty hilarious because in this not interview, this promo he mentions and he says, Dragunov, I have a lot of respect for you. How do you have respect for this guy? You left him on the bridge last week. You're lying to me. I saw it with my only two eyes that you left this man on the bridge and he had to walk home. Now, I don't know where that bridge is at. I mean, I know this is in Florida. Well, do you know where that bridge is at, Wrestling Doll?
Nope.
Oh, no? I was going to say, do you know how far it is from him trying to get back in town? Because that looked like a hell of a walk. But
it would be, but it wouldn't surprise me if he had his phone with him and called an Uber or something to go home.
No. Dragunov seemed like the kind of guy who walk it. Like, Dragunov seemed like the kind of guy who would go into a forest, pick a fight with the bear, and tell the bear, I warned you. So that's the kind of guy Dragunov. Dragunov seemed like the kind of guy.
Dragunov, but that's just me.
Who did this?
I said that's more Dijak, but Dragunov, but that's just me.
Dragunov. Dijak. We mentioned Dijak earlier. He's cool. This is mentioned Dragunov. Dragunov then comes on the screen. He mentions how he really just came over there just to talk with him, and then all this stuff happened. And next week we're gonna have Stacks against Dragunov. So yeah, that's your next match for next week, and we'll be here to review it with you guys next week. We got George. He says, I'm liking this faction. I'm liking this faction. It's better than Metaphor. See what I did there? What do you have against Metaphor? The Metaphor is a dope group. How dare you? How dare you? George is not feeling the meta. We got Jeffrey.
This way, the ones that are taken the most seriously are the girls in the faction. Mm-hmm. Noam Dar is seen as a joke from the way he would defend the Heritage Cup before he lost it to the No Quarter Clutch crew. And Ora Mensa, talented as he is seen as the punching bag because anytime he would defend the belt in place of Noam Dar for whatever reason, he'd always lose real bad and get dominated.
See, I like what you did there. Jeffrey pointed this out, so this is definitely towards you, Wrestling Dog. Yes, trust me, she did it to me on several recaps. LOL or misspelling of someone and something I can't remember though. Good job. You gotta teach this Jeffrey guy because sometimes Jeffrey gets a little wild. So good job that you taught him on the spelling. I'm glad I'm not in the chat because I would have been corrected every week. Oro Mensa is a punching bag and Noam Dar is the joke.
Which is
and
this watching the Cruiserweight Classic because I was watching some old WrestleManias, and that popped up in some recommendations. I was like, okay, I'll give it a watch. And I saw that Noam Dar was on there, so I watched his first match that he had on there, and he was incredible. When he's not being a joke, he's actually a talent. He's a very talented wrestler. Like, bring a little bit of that more into the ring and less running out being a pansy ass bitch. That's $1 for the swear jar.
I feel like that's going to be the new thing. We're going to have a swear jar starting next week between both me and Wrestling Dog because I can only imagine. We're going to figure out how to do that because that's going to be great. If someone cursed, we just have a swear jar and just be like, hey, if you curse, you got to let's put a penny in because I'm not putting $1 in. I refuse to give up my dollars. Or a nickel or something like that. We'll figure out it. Lash and Jakar should leave them and do their thing. -10 for Jack getting the name wrong. What name did I get wrong? What are you talking about? Warman is going into business for himself. I'm very disappointed in you, Warman. Warman, you're on timeout. Very upset. Let's talk about Ridley Osborne. Oh, Riley Osborne. See, I got that. So you know what happened? Because Warman said that, it messed me up. So you did this, Walter. I'm very upset at you. You've messed up my concentration. I am very heartbroken by this.
You messed up his concentration on his pronunciation. How dare you?
You know I can't do two things at once. I mean,
multitasking can be a very difficult thing for some people.
You know, the other day I carried a plate and a piece of bread, and I do not want to tell you how that story ended. Wasn't good. So we have Riley Osborne going against Drew Gulak, and this is for the Heritage Cup. So round one, I mean, I didn't think the match was bad, right? It's just I don't really like these rules. Like the rules don't do it for me. So it's like round one, oh, we're doing this stuff, and then there's a stop and a pause because this goes 6 minutes. So it's the round one is the fill out process. But Riley gets the first fall. He wins with a shooting star press. Wow. You know, and I'll also add to this too. So Riley, he's had a few matches, and I've seen some of his stuff. He was in the breakout tournament, and he got eliminated by Obafemi. But he had a good showing, is my point. In this match, I thought he had such a great show. I was like, wow, this guy is like really, this guy's really good. I like to see more of him. But he gets the first win, the first fall, shooting star press, gets the win. Round two, Drew was able to even up the odds. When Riley went and tried to leapfrog over him, he was able to go underneath and hit him with a roll-up, pinned him, stacked him 1, 2, 3, and then hit him with a sucker punch. Because Drew Gulak don't believe in the rules. He's about
Gulak don't believe in regular rules that he did not make himself. It is his way or the highway kind of rules.
There we go. I want to do a cheap plug real quick because we got this in the chat. So we're going to continue to move on and talk about this match. But this right here, guys, subscribe to UPR Sports. Yes, there's another UPR page. So you can catch this lovely gentleman and his lovely son. They talk about the UFL, which I think is just the XFL expanded or something like that. I don't know. I don't watch sports.
That's me. The only sport I watch is wrestling.
That's true. That's the only sport I watch. But you could catch these guys on Sunday. I believe they go on the afternoon. If you could tell us what time this comes on, one Jeff Lippman, I will plug it some more with the information because I don't have that in front of me. But please subscribe to UPR Sports. Catch these gents. Great timing. Great time is what I meant to say. So round three happens, and then we get graced with the great presence of JC Jane. I was concerned that we were going to have a non-JC Jane episode. I was ready to flip stuff over and write a letter. But she showed her lovely face, and I said, life is sweet. And she comes out there, and, you know, she's trying to support Chase U.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is. She wasn't.
No, she and Jasmine went to go make fun of them because they don't like them anymore. They two go for school, basically, is what it is. Listen, they won. You already know this, so you can't say that. You can't call me out, despite the fact that I'm wearing a Gigi Dolan shirt because it's the only one I bought last time I went.
Gigi Dolan? How
wearing
dare you?
tonight, okay? And also because Horns History Month. But they interfered in the match. They held Riley Osborne's leg, and that's why Gulak.
They wanted to see if there was a cut on his leg. Am I not seeing? They wanted to see if there was a cut.
They don't care. They're going to do their own thing.
No,
they were backstage cheering with Kiana James and Izzy Day, two of the most evil women in NXT right now, besides Blair Davenport and now Roxanne Perez. You cannot trust them right now. We know you will keep trusting them now until the end of time, but people have stopped trusting JC Jane since she turned her back. That's all I'm going to say.
You see what I'm doing right now? I'm trying to get that nasty taste out my mouth. I can't believe you, Russell and Dahl. Sabrina Stella has did the ultimate betrayal. You
You
I'm
mean
very
like when
heartbroken.
JC Jane kicked Gigi Dolan in the face when Bayley was trying to bring them back together?
I just thought they were just doing something for OnlyFans. You know, like some people.
Somebody for a door something for an OnlyFans page.
Well, I assume because some people like people getting stepped on. People have weird kinks. I didn't think anything of this.
A door, not stepped on.
Maybe she has a. Maybe people have a door fetish. Did you ever think about that, Sabrina Stella?
Nobody was thinking that.
I was. Jeffrey, back me up here. Jeffrey, I know you hear me, Jeffrey. Jeffrey,
backing me up.
Jeffrey, don't do this to me, Jeffrey. You beautiful black man, don't do this. I know you know what's right. Don't do that to me, Jeffrey. George.
Against Jane, what do you mean?
They. Oh, this is just awful. Like, you guys know how to disappoint me every following week. Good job, Jeffrey and George, the G group. I would say G unit, but that's taken. Oh, and here we go. There we go with George. Look at this. Look at this. Look at the amount of points. How am I going to keep up with this kind of points? Oh, because I didn't say anything bad about JC Jane, who was there to help. Did we all forget when she? I don't have to explain that to you. Everyone's apparently have
you, but that's because she thought she was going to get something like a benefit to her, so to speak.
She deserved a benefit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Was we depending on?
Is if she and Thea wound up winning the championship against Chelsea Green and Piper Niven when they were still the tag champs.
Well, look, JC Jane, as phenomenal as she is, she's not a magician. She can only do so much. So while she was carrying Thea and working with this with a bad back, I'm sorry. Am I the only one who saw this? I'm sorry that I know real.
Look at the chat.
No, I'm not looking at the chat. The chat has pissed me off. I hear nothing. I was listening to Wrestling Doll spit bars, and then he put it on cat because he thought he did something really great there because he put it in cat. Well, you know what? You spelled no, you actually spelled bars right. Damn, I can't. I have nothing to attack you on. Good job, Jeffrey. But yeah, Drew retains the championship like we all expected, and Thea wants to get her hands on JC, but a lot of people do. But next week she's going to get her hands on her partner, Miss Nix. Jasmine, that's her name, Jasmine. Pretty girl too. And you did mention the stuff you were talking about. Oh God, Kiana James and Izzy. Right, they run into the great JC Jane and friend, and they even propped up like, "Yeah, you saved Chase U. Good job." I like this Kiana James. I'm sorry it took me so long. I'm like the biggest Kiana James fan. No one can talk.
You and Miss Chase or have something to say.
I'm clearly bigger because I'm 5'11" and have kneecaps. So when you're under 5'6", you cannot say you're bigger than me because I am a giant compared. Well,
I said that you have something in common to share with her in terms
no,
of
no, I don't want to share nothing with that woman because that woman has learned from me because I'm the great tutor. She liked Kiana because of me. I said, yes, absolutely. I could tell you the story right now. It was a cold night in February 2027. Yeah, that was the year 2027. And I said, that girl's going to be something. So, yes. I want to keep moving on here. That's the professional that I am. We got Hank and Tank going against Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows. And I immediately started laughing in this match. And I started laughing because I thought about Karl.
He was going to dominate the ever living crap out of Hank and Tank, who the NXT universe loves so much.
No, you know why I started laughing? So first off, I'm a wild individual, so I laugh for no reason. But the next thing I laughed about is because Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows, and look at these guys. These guys are now on NXT, and good for them. Look, they wasn't doing anything on the main roster. One of them got
decided he was going to be a loner.
One of them got slapped by AJ Styles and did absolutely nothing. But I immediately thought back to the year 2020. Which was a rough year, right? I say if you listen to the Big Pop 3 podcast, a few times I've said, wow, what a year 2020 was. But I thought about that, they didn't call it a Burial Alive match. What did they call it? Graveyard match. And it was AJ Styles against Undertaker. And, Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows was there. And they're out there. They're trying to help out their boy AJ Styles. Times were a little different. They were looking out for their boy.
That's different.
But I immediately started laughing because in this match, Undertaker throws one of them off the roof, and tombstones the other. And I can't help but keep laughing at that because I said that was ridiculous that he took these two men out that easily. But that's how that match went. I might watch that back sometime because that was honestly one of the better matches from that weekend because 2020 was a hard year to watch wrestling. But Hank and Tank against Karl Anderson and Luke Gallows, like I said, they were given in this match. Hank and Tank got a lot of offense, a lot more offense than I thought that they would have got. You know, Karl Anderson, I don't have to say the full name. Karl and Luke, I mean, obviously the established team. They've been around the world, New Japan, World Tag Team Champion. I believe they held both tag titles, sets of tag titles on the main roster. Right. And, I mean, they're a more accomplished team. So I expected them to win. But, and they did win. But I guess I'd just be remiss if I didn't mention Hank and Tank got a lot more offense than I expected. And I know I said that already, so repeating that. They didn't look too bad. There was a spot here though where I kind of was like, Tank, why didn't you? It looked like he was out of place. There was a spot I think Hank was doing the pin, and Tank looked like he could have stopped Luke from breaking up the pin, but he didn't. Instead, just let him push him. So I thought he looked a little out of place there, but I thought the match was okay. I mean, I don't want to sit here and say 5,000 at the Tokyo Dome, but I thought it was a pretty solid TV match. So I have nothing to say about this. What are your thoughts about this wrestling doll? Oh, I'm sorry, Sabrina Stella.
You're gonna love doing that now.
I'm gonna do that all the time.
But no, you pretty much said everything, so there wasn't really much to say about that. But I have something to say that we did not talk about earlier in regards during Roxanne and Tatum's match. Or it might have been a little bit later. I can't remember exactly, but I'm just going to say this. Mr.
Sure.
Big Joseph, how dare you bring up the alleged drama between Booker T and CM Punk to the point where Booker T was like, if we could have seen him, he would look at him like this, would have been like, really? Really, Vic? Really? You going to go there? Like, come on, man. We don't even know if any of that was true, so what was the point of that?
Well, Vic Joseph always want to start trouble. Vic Joseph, but see, I've been on to Vic Joseph for a whole year.
Champion of two-time Hall of Famer Booker T, King Booker over here. Don't do that.
I'm sorry, I was looking up at Dark Side of the Ring, but I totally 100% agree with you, Sabrina Stella, because, Vic Joseph always want to start stuff until people try to get into his face and say something. I kept asking last year, why didn't he help out? Did you feel this way? Did you feel that way too? Why didn't he help out Johnny Gargano?
I was there when that happened, but I was also thinking,
why didn't you help?
I was thinking maybe he didn't want to die because maybe he's not properly trained either.
Look,
I'm just saying he's an ignorant commentator, but I don't think he's ever had training to be a professional wrestler as far as I know. If he has, he has no excuse. If he has not had training, then he has a valid reason for not putting his hands on
No. Listen, if you can be a fan of the Cleveland Bears, you can make time to defend your friends, because who is a fans of the Cleveland Bears? Do you even know what they are?
I don't know. I don't know, honestly.
Good, because guess what? You're right. That's it. We got George, you mentioned, and we should talk about Ruka. I forgot. I didn't even put that on the thing. Thank you for putting that, George. But Ruka gets jumped by Blair Davenport. Yeah, she had a match against, I felt like I wrote
Brandy Reese.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was pretty much a return match for Ruka. Ruka showcasing that. How long was she out? Was she out for a year? I feel like it's been a year. Okay, she's been out for a long period of time, but showing that she has no ring rust. She hit the Soul Snatcher. Snow Snatcher might be for somebody else, but the Soul Snatcher, he hits the move, pins Brindley. Brindley, I gotta say, she is just a cup of breath, fresh air, because she's just always happy. She's just always in a good mood. Like she lost, and she's like, yeah, I lost, but good job, dude.
I'm going to learn something from it. I'm going to take notes on it and improve for next time, basically.
See, I wish I had that attitude.
That's why I send the stuff that I send to the people that I record, so that way they can watch it back, work on what they've messed up, and use it for next time.
You know, it's a beautiful personality to have because, like, anybody who played Mario Kart knows that no one has that mentality at all. You know that deal, right?
Oh,
Especially,
when you play that game, that mentality goes out the door.
oh my goodness. When I get hit with the blue shell, I immediately say, oh my God, it's annoying.
It's like you want to look at the thing and see who's in 8th place or last place, but the thing's moving so fast that it's hard to tell who is in 8th place, so you don't know who hit them with.
You know, you're saying some really great things here because you know what really irritates me about that blue shell? I could be in 6th place and that thing will still hit my ass. And I'm like, there's no reason for this.
Actually, the thing is, if you were in 1st place, but people passed you and then you get in 6th place, when it's sent out, as far as it knows, you're still in 1st place. That's why that happens.
You know, the worst thing, I had a friend play, and we'll get back to NXT, but one of my friends, we played, and he had the worst luck. He got hit with a green shell, blue shell.
Red shell?
Was it red? Yes, all the shells. Then he got hit with a thunder. He got ran over.
It's not fun because it treats you. It makes you.
Yeah, and it's like the worst.
Bowser without being Bowser.
Yeah, Bowser. Right. Bowser don't even look like he really shrunk much because he's so freaking big. We got Z, and I do know about this game. I downloaded, but I haven't played it. But he said, "Nah, the Disney version of Mario Kart is lit." I've heard a lot of good things about it. A friend of mine's mentioned that, but I never played it. But I'm going to give that a try. All I had to hear was Mickey Mouse was in it because I would be rocking with Mickey in this game. Charmaine asks, why do you call yourself the Great Grand Slam Poober? Because I want to. I have no follow-up. I just wanted to. Charmaine says, Ron, you should play the new Princess Peach game. I heard about it. She does karate and everything like that. Possibly. If funds are good, I might give that a shot. We got George. He says, could we talk about Cody Rhodes saying that The Rock is Roman's side chick and call it The Rock? He did say that. We're not going to talk about that because there was a Monday night
Raw program.
No, there we go. And they had a Raw review show. It was, I believe, Evo Dose and Venny. So please, if you didn't watch that, watch it back and
after the show. Or
after the show. Yeah, you need to stay right here because you guys in the chat has irritated me. So you guys owe me. You too, Z. Don't go nowhere, Z. But I'm going to play even Mario Kart. That would make me happy. And then I could.
Happier than when you beat the executive consultant in a game of Super Smash Brothers that one
time. Oh, I fucking dominated him. I beat the shit out of the executive consultant. Didn't stand a fucking chance.
When he said, if Ron beats me, I will retire tonight, and then you beat him.
Liar. He's a liar. I beat him, and yet he continues to show his face. If I was him, I put a brown bag over my head, close the door. Yes. I would go underneath the bed and tell the monster underneath the bed, show's over, now it's my time. And then he takes the monster's job because that's where he belongs, underneath the bed, because I dominated him. I wrecked him. I pretty much sat there. I beat him badly than someone wiping their ass with a ripped tissue. And that sounds disgusting, and I know it. But I said it, and it left my mouth. I beat him. I'm happy about it. I'm glad that you remember that clip. Matter of fact, next week I'm going to play that clip just for you guys. Just to show you how he got dominated. And he did get dominated. And I'm very winded right now. Smash Brothers suck. I don't have Switch anymore. But Disney's Speedstorm is crossplay. You can get that work with Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear? Come on. Buzz Lightyear. Buzz Lightyear haven't been cool since Toy Story 3. Because, you know, that movie came out with Chris Evans. I heard that movie didn't do good. And I know it because I fell asleep. And Goofy, and no one, no. If I lose to Goofy, I think that's a problem. Let's talk about this main event, but I'm up for the challenge.
I'm going to say this. We did have a segment with Gigi talking with Ren, and then Miss Ariana Grace comes in. First of all, called her Georgina. So she's giving her a new name. And says that she's excited. She puts a little bit of makeup on and she's so excited about all that and puts on a sash on Gigi that says Mrs. NXT in training. And Gigi looked like she was Lindsay Lohan's character in Freaky Friday if all of her stuff were taken away and she was put in a white blank room. That's what that reminded me of.
I do want to give
I'm wearing Gigi's shirt today.
Out of feeling bad, feeling bad for her. I see. You know, I would have. I gotta give me a JC Jane shirt. I feel like I'm messing up here. I do want to.
You have to go back to the performance center to buy them, unless you want to order from online.
Oh, okay. There we go. I was gonna say you can't do that online. I was about to say, wait, what happened here? But I did want to talk a little bit about the segment.
I just prefer buying it in person over there because at least you can put it on before the show starts.
Smart girl. And they have a nice little table, not table, like a van there, and it's never overpacked. At least the one time I went, it was never overpacked. So good stuff. That's something to consider. Oh, this is what I want to talk about the segment. I'm sorry, brain fart. Jeffrey says poor Gigi. George says poor Ariana Grace. Oh, can we talk about the Carmen and Lola segment? Sure, we could get to that. Let me just talk about this. I want to give props to my co-host for the Big Pop, and she was talking about how this might be really some good stuff for one Gigi, and I agree to it because Gigi, for a while, you know, I feel like I said in past shows that she's kind of just there. So these segments, I can see these segments being, and I feel like I said last week, and I don't know because I feel like I just talk all the time, but I feel like we could get those segments where they're, I don't know, they're drinking tea and you have to put your pinky like this and all this
classes.
Right. And
training to get an idea.
Right.
Or do some volunteer work or stuff like that to make her feel more peaceful, less violent.
There's so many avenues that they can go to, and they can even go a route of while Gigi is learning stuff from Ariana. Thank you. You could even see stuff where Ariana somewhat gets some of Gigi's personality. Like, what if a guy bump into her and she's like, "Hey, why don't you step?" and get aggressive or something like that. I'm just saying this stuff that really to comedy.
Like, oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I have no idea where that came from. And then walks away with Gigi. Like, what was that? She's like, the power of ruthless aggression, baby.
Yeah, it could go to so many different ways. George wanted us to talk about this segment with Carmen and Lola. It's not really much to really talk about. They are using their social media and showing that these girls can kick. And these girls can kick. Both of them can. I remember
is a former MMA fighter, so
yeah, absolutely. So they're gonna have a match next week. Let's get into this main event. I feel like we should play a quick commercial, one of these outdated commercials that no one will give us any update on. So we're going to play an old commercial, and we'll be back for the final part of NXT.
Last time on UPR Shorts. You're looking it up, huh?
I'm looking at micro wrestling. Oh, my God. Oh, Chris, we got to hold on a second. We got to watch this shit. Chris, we gotta do a review show on this fucking show, Chris, please.
Is it on TV? Do they have a TV deal?
Yes,
oh, really?
they do. Oh, Chris,
free coupon,
please, free coupon. Chris, look at this. Even the referee is a little guy. Oh, God, Chris, look at this. Oh my God, I love it. Oh, she slapped that shit out. Oh, look at this. Wow, look at this high flying action.
I mean,
look at that guy.
High flying.
Watch this big guy that's coming up. Look at this guy. Oh, he died.
The big boot, huh?
Oh, Chris, this is the greatest.
You should be ashamed of yourself. Oh, he just killed that man.
Look at that. He did that. Look at that second rope moonsault. Look at the ref. He must go to the same ref school as Aubrey Edwards. Holy shit. Chris, can we just do a review on this?
There's no television.
Oh my God, please.
You can ask somebody in the chat if they want to do this review with you, okay?
You know, I watched this commercial a lot, and would you be down?
When I first saw the first commercial I saw of Big Daddy Cole of Steven when he and David were reviewing AEW with Fuego del Sol making the bet that he's going to bet his car with his match against Miro. And then that comment about how Miro isn't going to want the car unless he's going to have sex with his now ex-wife Lana in it.
Oh,
and
Lord.
give it back.
Oh, we've had some wild commercials. You're talking about in that commercial, he was actually in his car, wasn't he?
Yes, driving home from the AEW show.
He was very upset. He was very upset. He was. I don't know if they're going to actually review this show. Talking about I don't even know what they're calling this promotion, but if it happens, we hope that you're here to see it. Watch all the.
I know a few people. I know a few wrestlers that like going to the micro wrestling shows. Nico's gone a couple times, so.
Oh yeah. All right. Okay. I've heard some people talk about it. I had a friend sent me well, a coworker actually. He sent me about this. I'm like, yeah, I already kind of know about this. Please let Steve do the review. All right. Well, that's not my goal, man. I mean, like, yeah, sure, go for it. I mean, I don't know if it's on TV, but yeah, go for it.
Well, as far as I know, they have a website for it, so we'll see what how their video, putting up the videos on their website works.
Ah, I see what you did there. You did a little plug.
Well, not intentionally for me, but some places, some companies, either they put the videos after editing them, like a few weeks or a month later, or they live stream it and do it live, like Fight TV, now Triller TV, Premier Streaming Network, which they do with shows like at House of Glory.
Yeah, they do. Let's get the main event. We have Trick Williams, Tricky, going against Noam Dar. Earlier in the night, Noam Dar was trying to make sure he had a game plan going into this match, but he wanted to make sure one Lash Legend
and Jakara were focused, while Lash Legend was off in her own world thinking about that kiss that she got from Trick Williams, and she had to pretend like when she said, "I can't wait to get my hands on him," she had to make it seem like she meant kicking his butt again, because I said, like, "You mean punch him in the face, right?" And you mean like, yeah, that's what I meant. It's you guys. It's the click over you guys, over him, with the Alpha Academy coming up and Otis saying how he was jealous that Trick Williams to kiss her and not him.
You know, it's funny. It's
funny he said that, and then he calls Maxine his little dove.
You know, it's funny because it was honestly this segment that I looked at Otis and I said, "Oh my God, he reminds me of Kevin James, Doug Heffernan." If anybody watched Kings of Queens, it was something that he did, and I said, "That's freaking Kevin James," and which is a great compliment because Kevin James is hilarious. So I say that with a lot of respect there. But yeah, they're out there and they want a shot at the NXT Championship. We didn't talk about it, but they're going to be facing the Wolf Dogs next week, talking about the Alpha Academy. They're working this weekend. They're working that weekend for WrestleMania is what they're trying to do.
Yep. Everybody's trying to get on that car, which it's WrestleMania, so don't wait.
Oh, absolutely. Wrestling, Sabrina Starr. What did you think about this match with Trick Williams and Noam Dar? I'm going to give you the floor first.
Well, I thought the match was pretty good. I have nothing against Noam Dar as far as his in-ring work. I mean, like I said, I watched the Cruiserweight Classic, so I got to see a little bit of him before he started acting like Boo Boo the Fool, and a little bit of him on Main Event as well. So, or back when they used to call 205 Live.
It was 205. I remember, yeah. The purple brand.
It really did give me a lot more respect for that title before they unified it with the North American Championship.
You are correct.
Yes. But match was good. Interference here and there, not unexpected.
Yeah.
Trick Williams gets the win, and then he gets ambushed by the bodyguards that Mello had with him, including one that never took the thing off their face and was smaller, which everybody knew was Mello. And then they went and ambushed him. And then the one that had the mask on took it off. It was Mello, big shock. And then he ambushes Trick Williams some more, gives him a leg drop, and then looks down on him in pure disgust.
Who do you think was the fake Mello?
I do not know.
Why?
I wouldn't think of anybody that it was, unless it was Idris or Malik just filling in the spot until they had to go out with Brindley for her match.
I honestly thought it was
I
a
was
little.
thinking, like, who else is there? That's the person of color that they use over in the product every now and then. It can't be Oro because he had his thing with Noam Dar, and the metaphor like to stay together. So maybe it was somebody that you know what? It might be somebody that they brought in recently from like the indies or somebody that they're training back there that was pretending to not be mellow.
I thought it was a little Bow Wow. I don't know why.
Little Bow Wow hasn't been relevant for a hot minute since he stopped being Little Bow Wow and just went by Bow Wow. So
Does he go by Bow Wow? I thought it was Shad now because I think he goes by his real name. I don't know. I just know the man is very small. So. He's a very small man. And he had the nerve to want to pick a fight with Jade Cargill. Good luck, dude. We got Jeffrey. He said, I didn't see that swerve coming. What, you didn't see Mello being the one in the mask? Because I just felt like, oh, he's in the mask. Matter of fact, I thought the spot where I immediately said, oh, bro, think he's Goldberg. Because one of the security, they knock on his door and they're like, Mello, it's time. I said, bro, think he's Goldberg. Okay, all right. But yeah, no, it was good stuff. We put some heat into this match. Trick looked good against Noam Dar. I didn't see where exactly Trick got busted open because he had like a cut on the side, but he had a little cut, a little gash. Matter of fact, when he was in the ankle lock, that's when I noticed like, oh, he's busted open. Didn't know that. Really good stuff. Trick delivers a really good rock bottom. I think I just felt like I needed to point that out. Like he really delivers it very well. And yeah, Trick winning was the right move. You have a little story with Trick and Lash, because Lash is all about, it's like she's feeling Trick, but she's like, but I gotta be about my brand. I like it. It's cute. But yeah, I thought it was a great way to end the show. Mello's standing strong. Next week, we're going to have the LWO going against Fraser and Axiom against Anderson and Gallows. It's a triple threat. I can honestly see Fraser and Axiom winning. What about you?
I could see them being the winners of that one. A close second for me would be LWO, especially since they did have their match on SmackDown and did not win against Legado del Fantasma, which we all know why, because they had their match to fight for the NXT North American Championship, the NXT Tag Belts. They figured, why not?
All right. So what do you think about this? We have two matches, and I guess the winner will face each other. Yeah, I think. Okay, let me just say it. We have Duke Hudson going against Josh Briggs, and Sean Spears going against Dijak.
Well, I think that Sean Spears will have flashbacks to when he had to fight Wardlow in AEW.
Oh,
in that sense, so it'll be like a little sense of familiarity in that, because he'll have that to use to his advantage. Although I think Dijak will try to ever-livingly beat the crap out of him. And as for Duke Hudson versus... who was it again?
Josh Briggs.
I think that one will be interesting to see where that goes. Maybe Jensen will come out to watch, like, in the commentary, or watch from the audience or something. Or they'll probably show him watching on the TV screen in the back to watch for his boy, who surprisingly went out to his rescue tonight for whatever reason.
He just him and his mustache just cheers on Josh Briggs.
Yeah, him, and as the mustache turns, days our mustache makes the return.
Love it. No, I love it so much. It's fantastic. Jeffrey wanted to say it's Chad Morse. Okay. I said if he come out with a busted head out the door, I'm leaving. Yeah. We got George. He said it's called the bookend. See, there's a difference between the bookend and the rock bottom. The bookend, you land on your knees. The rock bottom, you flat out go like this and you just slam the body. I know the difference here, sir. I know the difference. It's called.
I have not watched too much Booker T matches. I would not be able to say that.
The LWO versus Legado del Fantasma. That already happened on SmackDown.
We
Legado
had
del
that on
Fantasma.
SmackDown, so
Yes. Oh, I like this one. The
General
General.
Mustache.
Oh, that's great. No, that's great. I like how these names keep coming on. Like keep the young and the mustache. Just days of our mustache. We're gonna look up some more soap operas as the mustache turn. 9021 mustache. I wanted to make that work so badly, so I'm sorry. Or what was that other show? Oh, mustache. Oh, what was that other one? It was called Beverly Hills or something like that. Because it was like 2 shows. I don't know.
90210.
Yeah. That one could be Beverly Mustache Hills or something
Or
like that.
Mustache Place, like when they used to have that show in the place.
I love this name so much because it's silly. Like, what are you going there for? Mustache stuff. I love that.
I'm gonna call out Shay Soros, and she likes to share stuff about One Tree Hill, One Mustache Hill.
One mustache. See, that's good. That's
Or One
really.
Mustache.
Or what was that show? Oh my God, it was on Fox 5, and it was like California. It was on Fox. It was like not Party. Oh, what about Party of Mustache? Huh? There we go. No, but it was a song. It was a show on Fox. It rivaled One Tree Hill. I know this because I grew up in this time frame, and I said, Lord, I forgot the name of it. I'm gonna figure this out. Stall for me for a minute because I'm figuring this out. Please.
Well, we had a fantabulous time talking about our beloved product of NXT.
The OC! It's called the OC! I'm sorry, I'm so excited I got it. There we go. Boom! I didn't even need to take that long, but go ahead. You're doing a fantastic.
The new one.
What did yours go? Saved by the Mustache. Mario Lopez is in there.
Fresh Prince of Mustache.
I like the Fresh Prince of Mustache. Oh my God, we have so many spin-offs here with his mustache. I'm loving what this chat has created right now. I don't know if he likes this so much, but he grew that mustache for a reason.
I would love to meet him in person one day. Tell him about our show and tell him how we make jokes by using the word
mustache.
Comparing him to a soap opera and tell him every soap opera how we came up with the word mustache.
I like this one right here. Family Mustache.
Or full mustache.
Which one?
Full mustache.
Full mustache. See, look, we're a real mustache of NXT. Oh my God, you guys are really just.
That's a good one.
Yeah, y'all just really get
every other super popular city in the United States.
You know, he's really missing the opportunity to make money with that mustache. Like, can you imagine the names that we just put in here? And he put it on a shirt. People would buy it. You remember how in the NWO they have a certain font that they use, but it's been redone a few times. Randy Orton did it.
Fantasma used it.
Yeah, they did. Absolutely. There was a guy back in the day. He used to be on the Nexus, Michael Tyva or something like that. I forget his name, but he had it in the end of. My point is, there's been people who use the font. So if he used Fresh Prince. Oh, I like this one. Living Mustache. I like that. Living Mustache. We got Mighty Morphin Power. I would not want these people to defend my planet. I would not want a bunch of people who take off these helmets and all you see is a mustache. Sanford and Mustache. You guys are great. Let's do some plugs because you guys are going to keep us here all night with all these things.
Yeah.
But so we're gonna end it here. But we want to say thank you for joining with these Go Power Mustache. Look at you guys. We want to say thank you guys. You guys make our Tuesday. Seriously, yeah, y'all entertain. We hope that we entertain you, but you entertain us. And I know this because I'm spending half the time laughing at these things. My ribs hurt right about now. We got Captain Mustache, but let's do some plugs before we keep getting into this mustache talk. I'm laughing because I can see the executive consultant watching this back and saying, "Why are they talking about mustache? You got to be here on NXT Tuesday to understand." We created our own lingo here. It's a good time. There's other shows that you can catch, but you decided to pick us, and we appreciate that. So we say thank you. Let's talk about these shows. Wrestling Dog. I'm sorry. So Sabrina Stella. Let's talk about these shows. That's right. You changed that name. I'm going to say it again. Let's get that going in the chat. Sabrina Stella. Make sure you capitalize on the A at the end. Make sure there's a big capital A. Make sure that A is just standing strong. Make sure that motherfucker's standing 10 toes. And I did drop an MF.
That's a penny for the swear jar.
Oh, damn. Oh, my God. What do I got to put in here? Like 25 cents? 50? Yeah, we haven't figured. Oh, thank God, because I would have put in at least $10 by now, because I probably would have said fuck another 8 times. But I'm going to stop because I do not need it. Ah, damn it. Let's do this. Let's do this for guys. You're watching Unpopular Review. We have so much content here, and we want to sit here and say these are the things you should check out on Monday. Matter of fact, I'm sorry. Kicking off the week, let's talk about my guy here, Mike Knox. His show is for the intelligent wrestling fan. Look at this graphic. Look at the professionalism here. Great stuff. You can catch him. He's talking about Monday Night Raw. He's talking about AEW. He's talking about TNA. He's talking about everything wrestling. Some news, some dirt sheet stuff. It's always a great time. You can catch the great King Vaughn. He has his This Week in Wrestling History. And sometimes they very, very talented Zeta Salad is there as well. So please check out the Mike Knox Show at 6 p.m. It is for the intelligent wrestling fan. And keeping the Monday going, right after Monday Night Raw goes off the air, you can catch the executive consultant right now. It's just taking a little breather, but he's going to be back on Monday Night Raws. There's been some fill-ins, but you can always catch the super talented Evil Dose Jeff Lippman for Monday night right after Raw goes off the air. So if you are up, please tune in to that. I don't need to say where you could catch us. I mean, we're going to just put this graphic up because we look good on this graphic. Look at us right there. Sabrina Stella and the Great Grand Slam Pooba. You can catch us on Tuesdays. You know this because today is fucking Tuesday. So there we go. We're going to put another one in the swear jar. There's another penny. Boom. On Wednesday, you can catch Dynamite. You can catch Dan the Man and Venny. They talk about everything all elite. And it's just a great time right now for the AEW fans. You have Okada. You have Will Ospreay. And debuting last week, you had Mercedes Moné. And she's going to be talking tomorrow. So check these gentlemen out. Dan the Man, Venny, and I think there's going to be a special guest. This is a new gent that be joining them. I'm not familiar with his name, but please tune in for that. And on Saturdays, you can catch Z is Silent. And I can tell you that name is a lie because he's not silent. He has a lot to say. Every Saturday at 12 p.m., 1 p.m., you can catch the team of Z the Sound and Vic as they talk about SmackDown. So there's that. Also on entertainment, we don't have a graphic here, but tomorrow I'll be on with the Trio of Destiny. We're reviewing Superman. I think it's episode 7 or 8. I don't know at this point. It's hard to keep up, but it's Superman. And then on Thursday, we're doing Invincible. So yeah, I be working here. It's crazy. So if you're tired of seeing me, too bad. But there's other content too for entertainment. I believe they're doing a movie review. I'm not too sure what they're doing. There's a book review thing. I see Cedar Superior been doing this book review thing. Fantastic. So if you're into books, check that out as well. And also we have our own personal things going. Sabrina Stella, tell these people what you be doing because you be doing things. You're not only here on Popular Review, you be doing things.
Yes, I do things on my own time, which is go to wrestling shows on the weekends. And that is what expands my product of my YouTube channel, The Unofficial Camera Woman. Someone made me a sign, brought it to me at the show I went to on St. Patty's Day. I have a picture here so you can get a closer look at it.
Take a look at that. Look at it. Look at it.
And it was made by this lovely gentleman. Here is his Instagram.
Oh, yes.
At 7, Mr.Terrell7. That is 2 R's, 2 L's.
That is 2 apples. Those are the same apples that they've been saying the math problem. If Kenny took away 7 apples, how many apples would be left? It sounds like Kenny has a fucking problem. That's another one. That's all right. They're just pennies, Jeffrey. They're just pennies. It's fine. Matter of fact, here's a few pennies. There's a penny right here. Right. Oh, that went in. Good job. I'm proud of myself. For me, we just look, he did it. He didn't put the whole capital, but you gotta put at the A. You gotta make sure the A is capital. You gotta say Sabrina. You gotta make sure that's an A at the end, and a Stella. You gotta make sure that capital is all in capital. But we just did an episode of the Big Pop Theory podcast. We usually record on Sunday, but Sunday wasn't a good day, so we did it for Monday. We just uploaded it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, it's on Google Podcasts. There we go. That is the proper spelling right there. You see that? You got to make sure the A. You got to always make sure the A is capital. But we just did a review, so if you have time and you just want to hear our thoughts, it's a good time. It's a good show. We're going to do another one next week. We are on episode 60. It's hard to believe all these episodes, like we're close to 100. Very proud of the growth of the Big Pop. So I want to say on both me and my co-hosts, we thank you guys for, even if you listen for 5 minutes, we appreciate that. So thank you. This whole wrestling podcast thing is not an easy thing, but we appreciate anyone who take the time to either listen, share, or just have a conversation with us, because that's what we try to do it for, conversation. But with all that said, I feel like we plugged all the stuff on Popular Review. We plugged what we do. Yeah, I think that's the show. I don't think there's anything else here. We have to go home, although we are actually home, but we want to say thank you guys. We hope we see you guys next week. We hope
you guys don't gotta go home, but you can't stay here.
You heard some
video, but you can watch any of our other videos.
You heard Sabrina Stella. That's right. That's going to be a thing. We're going to get that as a merch. Just nothing but that, just in pure capital. Just Sabrina Stellar. And then you could just stand on top of Sabrina the Teenage Witch. You just take a broom and you're just like, yeah.
I'd rather be standing on a star, since that's what the last name means, but...
That's what a Stellar means?
Yes.
Then you know what? We got to get this. What is this gentleman's name again? We got to have a picture of you standing on a star. It has to be a picture of you standing on a star looking like you have. It's got to be some kind of conflict between you and Sabrina the Teenage Witch. So maybe you standing on a star and Sabrina's just falling or something like that, because I don't believe she could fly. I'm going to Google that just to make sure she can't fly, because I'm not too sure about this. We got Walter.
She flies a broom and has to get her license for that.
She sucks. She can't even fly. That's not funny. Spider-Man
or no yeets. I'm not saying it ever again after this because it sounds weird to me saying it, but yeet because Jey Uso is going to be his brother.
I'm going to forever say yeet. Yeet. Although it sounds silly, I had to actually Google what this meant because I had no idea what this meant. Sailor mustache. Fantastic. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the mayor of the Jackpack Empire. I wanted to make sure I sent him. I really hope you have some words to say, Jack, after the disrespectfulness they had for JC. I wish you came in earlier, but we're not going to stay for another 30 minutes. But Roderick, I want you to know, and I'm going to say this to everybody that's listening. I'm saying this in front of Sabrina, Stella, Walter, Jeffrey, George. You are the definition of the Jackpack community. I appreciate what you've done. I appreciate how you stand up for JC Jane when everyone else has turned their back on her. Continue to fight the good fight, young man. I know right now life is hard for you because you are 5'5", so you can't reach the top of your refrigerator. I'm sorry that you have to deal with this challenge in your life. But one day, you will own a ladder, and you'll be able to reach the top of your refrigerator, and things will be good. And that's my message for you. Oh, no, I'm done. We can go home. Oh, I'm supposed to do that. Okay, okay. What would you guys do without me? All right, let's go home. Should we play the music and all that stuff? Hold on.
They love hearing you ask if the music's playing.
They do like hearing that. Okay, Roderick, the doors are locked. No, the doors will always be open for Roderick. Except after 12, because that is just creepy coming into my house at midnight. That is nasty. All right, let's see. Why is there a Scooby-Doo theme here? Who the fuck did that?
You did that to annoy you?
I know. Let's play that music. Let's see. Is the music playing? The music is not playing. The music is not playing. All right, guys. You know what that music means. That music means we're all out of time. This is Unpopular Review, the NXT review show. We say thank you. And we'll see you guys next week when we can find the... What is the outro for the damn thing? Oh, here it is. Bye, folks.